This routine comes from the Making Thinking Visible text and can also be accessed from the Project Zero website listed here on the screen. The Tug of War routine helps learners to understand the complex forces that tug at either side of a fairness dilemma. It also helps reason carefully about the pool of various factors and allows them to appreciate the deeper complexities of fairness situations that can appear black and white on the surface. So how does it work? You need to choose a topic that has two opposing sides or something with an element of controversy. In this routine, students are generally sharing their thinking at each step along the way before moving on to the next one. This allows the class to build on the group's thinking and often results in richer discussions. This routine can work well across the curriculum, including in English or literacy for identifying genre, or for debating topics or exploring dilemmas in a novel. Setting this up for your learners is a 5-step process. The first is to identify and frame the dilemma. Once the dilemma is clearly defined for the class, draw a line on the board representing the tug-of-war rope. Ask students to name the two ends of the rope. What are the two opposing viewpoints in the defined dilemma? Next, we need our learners to consider the tugs. What are the tugs or reasons that support this position on this side of the dilemma? Generate as many possible reasons. Do the same for the other side of the argument too. Step 3 is to place the tugs. Place the tugs on the line. Although consensus is important, the focus should be on the reason and justification for each placement and how the tugs compare with one another in strength. Step 4 is all about questions. What if and what about? As students are discussing placement of the tugs, questions may arise. Use different sticky note colours and place them above the lines, and those questions should later be addressed. The final step, much like all of our thinking routines, involves sharing the thinking. You'll want to ask your learners what new ideas emerged for them about the dilemma that wasn't there at the beginning. Do they still feel the same way about the dilemma? And if not, what changed their mind or added to their thinking? You might also want to ask some learners how they might summarise the complexity of the issue for someone else. Let's take a look now at how some schools have used tug of war in practice.
Here, students are generating ideas about why they're against printing human organs. They're saying on sticky notes things like, there's been no long-term effects for printed organs, and if something goes wrong with the printer, we wouldn't really be able to problem solve at a fast enough rate to fix it. The outcome of this protocol showed me that students have the ability to see opposing sides and can even rank arguments within their own side. It also allowed them to prepare for the in-class debate.
The tug of war thinking process is to help you think out dilemmas and help you explain them better and think about them and help them make more sense.
The dilemma we're thinking through right now is if animals are better off in their natural habitat or captivity.
So the thinking process is you have to choose between natural habitat or captivity, and it's to share your thinking. You can switch off every 2 or 3 weeks, and it's all your decision to share your thinking.
Definitely yes, because from my point of view as a learner, it was more challenging for my mind instead of just reading the book and not putting as much effort into it and just like reading the book and then you're done with it onto like another book.
I would totally recommend this to other teachers because it has helped me think through things better than just like reading and I'm done. No, you just have to put more effort into it and not race through it.
Don't
and
give up.
Just be done. Right.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Yes, I would recommend this to other teachers. It's more challenging, more fun, and it helps you get through the book. We don't just read the book, then move on. We read a chapter, stop and think about it, read a chapter, stop and think about it, and so on.
Blogging has helped the Tug of War routine because we got to share our ideas with the world, and sometimes in the comments they would leave their ideas to help us blog better.
I think that it helped us because we get to share our thinking and we don't just get to leave it in the classroom. We get to share it with the world and everybody knows what we're thinking and so that they can try the Tug of War too.
And I think the Tug of War and the blogging are very close together, and that blogging helps because then you let the whole entire world know about the Tug of War, because we may be the only class in the entire world doing Tug of War.
The Tug of War routine can be used for formative assessment. Some questions that Project Zero are recommending that you consider before, during and after Tug of War are outlined on the screen. How does the class perceive or frame the issue to start? Are your learners able to capture the essence of complex dilemmas? How do they frame the opposing sides in the dilemma? Do your learners go back and forth between both sides of the dilemma, offering, but on the other hand, suggestions? Or are they able to step outside their own positions to consider the other side? What do the what-if questions reveal about what they see as key to advancing their understanding of that dilemma? And at the end of the activity, are your learners able to articulate a richer understanding of the dilemma? These questions can be great to be considered for learner conversations at the end of each of the sessions. This thinking routine can be found in the Making Thinking Visible text, but can also be accessed via the website highlighted here, which also includes a range of different routines for you to consider improving the visible thinking in your classroom.